wrong way, but yeah, well, clearly a gentleman's been in the world of cycling for a long time, and therefore, you know, conversant, and you're very, you know, you kind of understand the kind of the heritage and the kind of unwritten rules, I guess, of cycling within the pro peloton amongst amateurs. So, what made you decide to pull this together? Was it a solo effort, or was there other people that you were involved with?
There are some other people involved. There wasn't really ever a plan to do this. Velominati was just founded out of an interest to start writing about cycling and share my passion for the sport. There are 4 other writers, so there are 5 writers in total that write for the site. And you know, we found ourselves kind of drifting towards conversation about kind of the do's and don'ts about cycling, and it's got really a very rich culture and etiquette and history. And so at a certain point, we said, well, shit, we should break this down. And just started documenting them, and then as it gained in popularity, people would suggest some, and some people would tell us that we're idiots, and we're of course right. But you know, so it kind of evolved over time, and it's you know, it certainly wasn't something where we set out to define the etiquette of cycling or any such thing, but it's kind of just shaped up that way. And I think one of the most common emails that I get from people is, you know, they were racing in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and they say, shit, you know, I always knew all these rules, but they were never written down. You know, it's I think a lot of people that have been in the sport for a long time know a lot of these things sort of implicitly.
So essentially, they're the written, unwritten rules.
Written and unwritten rules. Yeah.
That's what. So I guess it's something that isn't, you know, isn't in stasis. It's something that's evolving. So there'll be later editions. And how does, obviously, you pulled these all together over a period of time, and looking through them, there are things that we kind of all did as pros, or would aspire to do, or look to, or frown upon if someone to contravene any of these unwritten rules, as it were. But were something to come to light, or something that gained popularity in, you know, in the current era? What's the process for getting something new into the book?
So we've kind of established a numerology around the number 5, and that's because of Rule 5, which is hard to fuck up. Kind of a principle, you know, founding principle of cycling, I think. And so now we're only adding rules in batches of 5. Okay. We're at 95. So we're getting pretty close to having 5 new rules that we'll publish at some point. But obviously, we don't want to have too many rules, or we're knocking on the door of 100 rules. But to your point, it keeps evolving. I think what we really try to do with Velominati is kind of balance evolution with a reverence for the history of the sport. So, you know, we definitely won't put in a rule about a fad that's going to come and go very quickly. If something new evolves in the sport that's going to be around for a while, we would put it into a rule.
So, along the lines of something going into the Commons Dictionary, and you kind of word that's kind of becomes part of common parlance, it's something that is accepted generally, used to an extent that it has a value, and again, something that, I don't know, I guess it has to earn its place, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, what about contravening the rules? I mean, you've got the rules here. What about if you really, you know, you transgress and you kind of go against, or you break a rule? Have you got a book of kind of punishments? Is it like a sentence structure? You know, if people go on probation, and do you have like a team of social, you know, of like probation officers who kind of assist people in kind of putting them on the right path? I mean, how far does this extend? I mean, is this some sort of cult?
It's definitely a cult. There's no punch list. It's mostly just verbal lashings. I do it on the website. I issue demerits. They're not worth anything or do anything, but they do get issued. Really, I think it is kind of dogmatic, but it's also very tongue-in-cheek. And there are several rules, I think, and I think it's some of the important things. You just had it open. Rule 3, guide the uninitiated. So I think rather than bitching somebody out for violating a rule, we encourage people to take somebody under their wing and kind of coach them and teach them in ways in the sport, especially if they're newer in the sport. And we have another rule, Rule 43, which is don't be a jackass. And if you have to be a jackass, at least be a funny jackass.
So although it's kind of a little bit elitist, it's also quite broad and open and equitable, I guess. So it's not kind of exclusive, but yeah, interesting. I'm going to take a little bit of a look through and try. And what I'm going to do is a little test for you. I know I got you cold earlier on. I'm going to give you the rule number, and I want you to try and tell me what the rule is. Don't flick it around. I'm going to give you the title. I mean, you wrote this for crying out loud. I mean, you should know this. Really. I'm going to give you a simple one. I'm going to it's like Tombola. It's going to be a 0 or a 5 to give you a bit of a clue. What is Rule 50? Well done. Round of applause. 1 point on the scoreboard. From so far, facial hair is to be carefully regulated. Well, I'm actually going to read a little bit, just the opening kind of paragraph. So, Rule 50, facial hair is to be carefully regulated. No full beards, no moustaches. Goatees are permitted only if your name starts with Marco and ends in Pantani, or if your hair is intentionally or unintentionally bald. So the bald is out there, you're fine, don't worry. One may never shave on the morning of an important race, as it saps your virility and that you need to kick ass. Rule 50.
Rule 50.
Right, we're going to spin things around. I'm going to give you the rule.
That one's being violated a lot in the pro peloton.
It's awful. I mean, how are you controlling it? It's almost a rebellion, isn't it?
It's almost a rebellion. I think Brad Wiggins has just been so focused on breaking the hour record that he forgot he grew a beard the size of his neck.
I mean, one of my favourites, but it's so well manicured. I mean, I've got a bit of a man crush. Simon Geschke, what a beard. Gee, I mean, that's a beard and a half.
Yeah,
that guy rocks a beard.
Yeah.
That is a beard.
And who is it, Paolini?
Controversial. He does.
And ugly sunglasses.
And it's a ginger beard as well. It's ginger. You don't see many ginger beards, do you? Very interesting. I mean, that guy lives his life, that guy, doesn't he? Paolini. Lives his life. There's like power to Paolini. Okay. I promise you it'll be a 5 or a 0.
That doesn't help me.
It doesn't really, does it? But,
Let's say 5.
Okay.
No help.
Bear with me when I flick through. Actually, this isn't a 0 or a 5 because I just like this one. This is probably one of the most controversial topics that rages on year after year. And I think that maybe next year at the Classic we should have a debate and open it out to the floor because it's close to everybody's hearts, although not from a geographical perspective, it's lower down the body. Rule 28, socks can be any damn colour you like. I mean, this is hot stuff. I mean, talk me through the kind of thinking, and because that is really contrary, isn't it, to a lot of traditional thinking, black or white, obviously the permutation, the shoe colour, I mean, it's a can of worms.
It is an absolutely can of worms. I think we do have a bylaw in there that says that it should at least match your kit. So you can't just go crazy and do something garish, but socks I think are really the only piece of the kit that we can really fool around with and have fun, right? So I think that's an element where you can kind of blaze your own trail. I think we also have some very clear kind of aesthetic principles, right? We do tend to lean towards either a white or a black sock. Certainly, you know, the real traditionalists are always going on white socks, and there is nothing like a totally crisply clean white pair of socks
Pack it fresh.
on a nice tan shaven gun.
It's a family show, I'm really sorry. Things back a bit. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
I do have patent leather orange cycling shoes made by Bont. They're beautiful. I occasionally wear orange socks with those, and then it's like a whole orange thing.
It's the same pattern as the orange on there.
It's the same Pantone. That's right.
There we go. I mean, what about? I mean, I'm just gonna throw the cat amongst the pigeons, basically, in terms of socks. I mean, you say, look, I'm gonna read it. Rule 28: socks can be any damn colour you like. What about Christmas gift socks? I mean, it's the season of, you know, I mean, what about a pair of Marge Simpson socks? And what's going to happen there? I mean, it could be catastrophic. Or ones with little bells attached.
Now we need to start railing it back, right? I mean, still.
Always a caveat, isn't it?
You accept those gifts courteously and you throw them in the bin. A guy showed up to a ride with defeat little ankle socks. You couldn't see them over the top of his shoes. I made him get back in his car and put on some real socks. I mean, you're better off wearing your dress socks from work than those little socks.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they are absolutely horrific.
And he has like 5 pairs of them. I told him to burn them.
So, what about sock length? I mean, is there an optimum? I mean, in my other job, working for GCM, we did a poll. We did a rider poll. We took a tape measure out to some of the races, some of the tours, and we measured the optimum sock length. And we got it down to, I think it was 6.5 inches is the kind of optimal range against most pros. I mean, what are your thoughts on sock length in general?
So I think this is another area where there's a lot of variation. We have this thing called the Goldilocks principle. It just basically means it shouldn't be too long or too short, right? So Brad Wiggins is way over the threshold. He's basically wearing stripper boots. I don't know what those things are. And the overshoes are even worse. And David Miller, who is an aesthetic champion of ours somewhere, is guilty of this as well. I mean, some of those overshoes are just...
What about Quintana's overshoes from last year during Italy? I'm surprised he's not doing about a 2-year stretch.
He was basically just wearing a skin suit. His knees were showing.
Ridiculous. Well, let's
right up Catholic school, maybe.
Just, yeah. We're going to be talking to Alex Dowsett a little later about sock length. He is a bit of an exponent on sock length and the combination of sock length and aerodynamics, which is another topic entirely. But we'll speak.
It doesn't matter for any of us. We're not racing, or some of us are racing, but we're not getting paid. It's not going to make a difference anyway. So
just one
better to look good
than to go fast. Yeah, definitely. I think I agree with that. Rule 57. No stickers. So we're moving on to the machine itself now. I mean, I'm going to read the rule. I don't know how many of you are completely conversant with this, but it's a really interesting read. It makes me kind of, I don't know, it makes me want to read it further. It makes me just want to, I don't know, think. This is quite a traditional one. Nobody gives a what causes your support, what war you're against, what gear you buy, or what you rode at the Tap Tour. See Rule 5 on your bike. Decals, on the other hand, are not only permissible, but extremely pro. So no stickers. So what's all that about? Because back in 1987, I had an Allen, lovely aluminium frame in baby blue and with chrome lugs, and I stuck a picture of Linus from Peanuts on my head tube. So that's clearly not permissible. I'd be taken to task, wouldn't I? My knuckles would be wrapped.
I think that's a tar and feathering offense, especially on a beautiful bike like that. Was it a paper sticker? It was the kind that you'll never scrape off.
I know that wasn't coming off. It's still not off now, I don't think.
No, you desecrated your bike.
But decals are fine, so obviously official sponsors, but no extra kind of stickers.
Yeah, especially in the United States, you get this whole thing where, I mean, I suppose if you do the Ironman, you get a sticker, maybe you're proud of that, and you can put that on there, and I can understand why. But a lot of these, organized rides put out stickers, and then they slap those stickers all over their bikes, and it's garish, but it's also nobody really cares that you did this. Like hopefully you did that for yourself, and I don't know why you need to go advertise it. It's like bumper stickers, on cars.
Have you ever, before putting this together on the QT, obviously this is open forum, but it's also fun to sort of express yourself and be honest, maybe. It's a kind of confession. I mean, have you ever applied a sticker to one of your own bicycles in the past and have you regretted it? And is this some sort of redemption that you're going through at the moment?
I can't remember that I did. I did once, and this is going to hurt to say. I had Campagnolo on my bike and I put a Shimano decal on the top of it. I was 12 or 13.
There was this guy's absolute charlatan right in front of you today. Should be banished to the tower or something similar. Putting one of the gibbets that we've seen hanging around this part of town.
You have to stray from the path to understand where it was.
I think that's right. I think, that's the way you evolve, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. Let's find another one. Because it's an intriguing read. I love this one. This is an absolute pearl. Rule 91. No food on training rides under 4 hours. That's kind of what kind of monster are you? Are you sort of a camel or something as well? I mean, just where did that come from? No food on training rides under 4 hours.
This is hard to dispute. I was riding with Johan de Seo. Kenny.
Flandre, they're on great terms. They're great terms, yeah.
So Johan, we were riding we were doing the spring classics, and I pulled out an energy bar, and we were, that day we were only doing 3.5 hours or so, and he turned to me and said, absolutely no food. It's less than a 4-hour ride. Why are you eating? You're too fat already. That's what happened.
But he's a god, really, isn't he? It would be nice to actually put that to him.
Yes, sir. May I have another?
Unbelievable. So, well, I just read, so this one, I think, as you said, this one comes from named as an apostle in this particular book. The apostle, Johann Isaiah, he said to Frank, yes, no food arrives under 4 hours, you need to lose some weight. Or as Fignon puts it, sometimes when we train, we simply have to go out to meet the man with the hammer. And the exception is, of course, hard rides and races of more than an hour. So there's, again, a slight caveat woven into this, isn't there?
Right, yeah, it's really about a training ride if you're going out for training. There's a, I don't know if we talk about it in here, but a disturbing trend to have very sugary energy drinks and very sugary, gel sacks and things like that. And I think it's just, we're getting a dependence on this quick energy. And I think, honestly, if you try to stay off that stuff, I do think your body learns to build a little bit better endurance and so forth. I don't know.
I think, yeah, when I was training, and this back in the kind of 80s, and obviously on club runs and stuff that you'll identify with, you kind of, there were some guys that used to ride, go out all day long, but would just have one bidon on, to almost like prove a point that they could become dehydrated, and then later suffer from some sort of exposure. I don't know, but it was almost like, it was to sort of almost, I don't know, to almost cause a physiological breakdown was almost like a badge of honour. And that's slightly worrying, especially the young man just sat there. I mean, he's looking to, it's dangerous, isn't it? So, I mean...
I'm looking at him, I think he might need the Rule 5 talk.
We could come and have a chat a little bit later on, but yeah, we might have to police that a little bit.
To that point, though, to force a psychological breakdown and a physiological breakdown, I think it's very handy to do that in training, right? So that when it happens...
That's what happens in muscles, isn't it? Yeah.
You kind of know what to do, and you know how to recover from it, and you know that the world doesn't end. Just keep pedaling.
Good stuff. I mean, we're coming up to the close. I mean, I think I'm going to take one question from the crowd. We'll just focus on one on the rule. A quite an interesting one that I wasn't aware of. Rule 95. Never lift your bike over your head. How obtuse is that rule?
There are a lot of people in this room probably that did that today. I've got nodding heads. This happens, it's inexplicable. They take a photo of themselves with their bike over their head.
Oh yeah, when you see it on the Instagram and stuff. Yeah.
Standing by a wall.
I mean, what if there's a gust of wind? It could be awful, couldn't it? You know, it's health and safety as well as contravening Rule 95 in the day, isn't it?
It is, and look, we're cyclists, upper bodies, bad. You don't want to fall into I carry 1 carton of milk into the house at a time to hope one to get too strong. You're lifting your bike over your head, you're going to bulk up.
Fair play. Well, on that note, Frank, what we'll do, we'll throw out just one question. So, has anybody got a friend? Well, Eddie Merckx over there with the camera's been filming this.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to have a chat with Dennis Telegraph and Rouleur about when that's going to be posted online. But
it's for evidence, actually. Okay, Frank, is this on?
No, it's not on. You've got a booming voice.
Just shout.
Go, yeah. The major question we all need to know the answer to is disc brakes on road bikes.
Oh, shit.
I asked Keith Montrager that earlier on. That was an interesting conversation.
He said yes.
He did say yes.
He's a pusher, though. It's like asking your coke dealer if you should be doing drugs. But it's
up to... She's coming downstairs right now.
Sorry, I'm not very PG-13. None of my friends who have kids ever invite me over. It's a bad thing. But yeah, I don't... Honestly, they're starting to look a lot better. When they first came out, it was like they were using, I don't know, mountain bike parts to, like there was a foot between the top of the wheel and the frame, and they dropped all those clearances down, and it looks a lot cleaner now, but by and large, on a road bike, my biggest challenge stopping is not locking up the wheels already. So I'm not really sure what problem a disc brake is fixing on a road bike, personally, but we'll see what happens. We're not putting a rule in there yet that says that you can have...
It's early days, isn't it? It kind of needs a bit more road testing, as it were. But Eddie, thanks for your question. And Frank, thank you very much. It's been extremely entertaining. Get this book. It is a bit of a crack. It's also online as well. The rules are online. There's a forum there too, I believe, as well, where you can get engaged in the debate all about that Velominati. It's been a pleasure. Put your hands together, please. Woo!
Incredible honor. It's been a lot of fun, and I just wanted to thank the organizers. I know there's a lot of coordinating and planning that's been going on, and it's gone off swimmingly. Anne has been, I don't know where she is, nobody ever sees her because she's scuttling our people around all the time. It's just amazing the work that they've done, and this has been such a cool event, so thank you all.